Hi, my name is Paul Pecorale. I was PMCT president from 2005 to 2014, almost a 9-year stretch. And some of the challenges that occurred while I was the president were, I figure threefold were some of the huge challenges. One was a recession, one was APPR, and another was retirement security. In regards to the recession, when I took over as president, we had just ended a potential time where the contract was lapse. And my first year, we were without a contract. And we had a lot of strategic planning and even contemplated taking a strike vote based on the premise of trying to force the hand of trying to negotiate a finalized contract. And this was in the throes of what became a huge recession in the late 2000s. And it was not an easy time period. There was not a lot of money to be had. And there were a lot of people who were losing their jobs, including teachers. And at the time when I was president, we only represented teachers. And there were several years where there were sometimes as many as 60, 70 teachers that were receiving pink slips. So in the constructs of a financial disaster, along with the lines of potential layoffs, negotiations were extremely tough. And so there were several contract settlements that kind of resembled that in the constructs of the settlement. And while there was some money to be had, we had to focus in on a little bit more of workplace conditions and settling a lot of grievances, arbitrations, and there were even settlements that we knew that there were going to be 40, 50 teachers that were going to be laid off because of the financial constraints at the time, where the state was not giving the money that they really needed to sustain the school district's budgets. And so those were some of the early challenges that occurred within my presidency, which created lots of dynamics, weird dynamics within the membership, because we found ourselves in a situation where obviously half the population was looking for salary raises and the other half of the population was looking to just keep their jobs. And so we had some settlements that kind of reflected that. And in the end, whenever we started a school year, pretty much all of the employees that have been laid off returned to their positions, which was a huge boost to obviously the individuals involved, but it did reflect lower numbers in terms of settlements for our salaries. That being said, we did continue the ball moving. And after a few years of weathering the recession, the new challenge was APPR 1.0. APPR is annual performance reviews that was presented to us in the form of being forced down our throats. The feds passed laws and the states had to follow them. And we had a lot of hard battles to have teacher voice within the first iteration of APPR. And one of the things that I was very proud of was that I was able to go through all the buildings, all the departments, and allowed them to kind of create what they were looking for as an evaluation tool. Subsequently, other legislation issues or negotiations changed what some of those parameters were. But I was very excited that in APPR version 1 and version 2, as being president, there wasn't a single person who had a serious threat to their occupation. And along with future negotiations, one of the aspects that was near and dear to my heart was retirement security. And we had always had retirement incentives that were sunset clauses, and we were able to eliminate those sunset clauses and make them permanent. And subsequently, I believe some of those things have changed in the course of time. But we, as an exec board, were extremely proud of some of those types of negotiations that yielded teacher voice and retirement security, and continuing the salary schedules that we would expect for where we are, and to get us to the point where we are today. My message to younger teachers, teaching assistants, would be that it's important for us to understand our history, to understand your contract, because it is for you individually as it is for a collective whole. And by those two factors being completely within the grasp of who we are as individuals, paints a picture of what the union can do. Because quite frankly, and all you have to do is look around the country and the other states, how people have lost the right to collective bargain, and they have one-page documents where they have to fight for salaries that are a third of what we have here in our school district and state.